gorgeous girlies, what is up? It's your boy Plastic Gangster here, and today I'm going to show you how I got this vibrant neon makeup look. Because you know what, that's what everybody needs during a global pandemic. It's a neon makeup look that none of us can wear out and about, you know, lights, camera, living room. You know, I just woke up feeling kind of meh today. I thought to myself, you know what, I need to do something that's really gonna cheer me up. So you know what, bright colours always cheers me up, so let's get into it. So I don't use primers to prime my face because my face is quite oily. And I find that primers just add to me feeling heavy and greasy and my makeup kind of slipping down, especially in hot weather. Not that we get much here in England. So I'm taking my Barry Am Mist and Fix Makeup Setting Spray. It's the matte finish one, because of course oily skin. I'm just going to spray that over my entire face. Yep, I do use quite a lot of it, as you can see. I'm just going to let that dry. I'm going to start with my eyebrows. I have really quite bushy eyebrows. So I really do a whole process to kind of keep them looking as thin as possible, and I can't find my eyebrow brush. No, that's a broken one. So when it's not a pandemic, I usually go every 2 weeks to the salon and get my hair and my eyebrows done, so I don't really have to worry too much about the shape of them when I'm, you know, when we're not like in a global lockdown. But now that they're a little bit bushy and a little bit more natural, I'm kind of having to shape them a bit more. So I'm just going to start by using the spoolie end of the Iono by Amazon makeup brush and just spooling my eyebrows to comb all the hairs in the direction that I want my eyebrows to sit in. I actually cannot see, I kind of need glasses. Let me just look in my mirror, hold on. You're going to get a lot of me looking in and out of the mirror because I find it very difficult to do this without one. Right, and now I'm going to take my Technique eyebrow gel in black. I'm just gonna start combing it through my eyebrows. And now the other one. I don't want to add too much because I don't want to make them too dark. But I could actually do with a little bit more. So now I'm going to take my Iono by Amazon eyebrow brush and I'm going to take the brush end and I'm just going to start brushing that onto the brush from the spoolie that it comes with. And I'm just going to take the excess off and wipe that on the ends of my hand. And I'm going to just begin shaping my eyebrows. You see. So I'm just going to start at the top. Let's start at the top of my eyebrow. Now I'm just going to lift my eyebrows up like this. I'm going to begin shaping from here, just the underneath bit. I'm just going to spoolie that. my stomach there. You see how that's kind of taking shape a bit more than the other one? Ooh. So yeah. I'm now going to do the same with the other eyebrow and just begin. Sorry, I now have my mirror in my face. Just begin with the top. I always start with my eyebrows at the top. See, I always begin at the top. I then go like this, really lift my eyes. Just begin brushing the hairs towards the underneath bit. And they are looking quite big at the moment, but what you can do is you can take that down later with concealer, and that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm just going to just wipe that. I keep forgetting doing makeup for other people. Oh my goodness, look at me. I look like a pirate at the moment, don't I? With just the eyebrows on. Oh my gosh. Right. I'm going to fill in that gap because I accidentally took a little bit too much eyebrow hair when I did my eyebrow. That is the problem with them. When you're like me, who is someone who can't actually do their own eyebrows like at all whatsoever, and you get thrown into a lockdown, you have to work out very quickly how to do them so you don't end up looking like bushy like an angry bird. Another look that I used to have actually. Insert photo here. So now I'm going to just continue . Is this a drunk get ready with me? Because it really seems like one. And I promise you it really isn't. This is not a drunk get ready with me. Okay. I don't do the underneath bit as much as defined. Can go around it. It depends on really the shape that my eyebrows are at the moment. So I'm going to go underneath. Look how much bigger they're getting, and you can really see how big they are getting on camera. But then after that I'll show you the magic of how we make them somewhat of a normal size. Actually just going to add a little bit more of that. Add some more here. I'm just going to darken that up just a little bit. Sorry about the mirror in my face. There is going to be a lot of mirror in my face with this. Yeah, they're somewhat taking shape. I mean, they're very big now. They are very big. We went from kind of quite small to quite big, but that's okay. What I like to do is I do tend to make them a lot bigger because I like to get the shape. So I get the shape I want, don't worry about the size, and then I conceal them later. Wow, I look like that guy from Lazy Town. You know the villain? What was his name? You know the villain from Lazy Town? In the blue, that kind of looked like the other dude. Wait, was he a villain? I don't actually remember. I never watched Lazy Town, to be honest with you. It wasn't really my scene. I like the hair though. On Stephanie, the pink wig was really very me. If you know me, if you follow me on any of my other social medias, you'll know that the pink wig is like, you know, Stephanie from Lazy Town walked so that I could run. See, it's really interesting though. We get raised watching like stuff like that, and then we end up wearing the pink wig ourselves. You know, the media is very, what's the word? Prolific. So I'm just now blending that out because I have actually added too much eyebrow gel and made it too dark. As I said, don't add too much eyebrow gel and make it too dark. Look what I've done. And actually, look at my eyebrows on camera. Look. It really is time for concealer. So what I do is I take a flat eyeshadow brush. You can get these from literally anywhere. I got mine in a pack from eBay for like $11.99. I'm going to take my Maybelline Eye Eraser Concealer. You can see that? No, because of the light, but it's the Maybelline Eye Eraser Concealer and it's in the colour 00 Ivory, which is way too light for me. But what I like to do is I like to use it because it really helps conceal my eyebrows. I find that concealers in my shade don't cover them up as much or as well. I also really like it for when I do coloured vibrant looks. It really makes a very bright canvas for me to start with because my skin is slightly darker. And sometimes colours don't always show up perfectly on there, or they don't show up with their full vibrance as they would on somebody with a lighter skin tone. So right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally just draw around this eyebrow. Right, let's see how well I can do this on camera. Okay, I may need to look in the mirror for this because this could go horribly wrong. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start drawing a line around the eyebrow. And can I just actually give a shout out to the girls on here who can do these amazing eyeshadow and eye makeup looks in that tiny MAC compact mirror. I mean, some of the skill set on here is insane. I'm struggling to do it in my mirror, in my kind of normal sized mirror. So what I'm doing is it looks like I'm just kind of stroking the concealer like across my eyes, but what I'm actually doing is every time I go across, I take it further down into my eyebrow. That way I have more control over the final size, because what you don't want to do is make them too small. Because once you've made, not make them too small, what you don't want to do is you don't want to take your concealer too far down into your eyebrow hair, because you're going to end up with with bushy eyebrow hair covered in black eyebrow gel with then white concealer put, and you kind of look grey and it doesn't work. You know, like when you conceal eyebrows, but the eyebrows, you know, with the glue stick and the powder, but the eyebrows are just too big to conceal, so you just have powdery eyebrows. Also my kind of eyebrows you can't conceal for drag makeup looks. If anybody has any tips on how I can conceal my eyebrows for drag makeup looks, please let me know in the comments down below. So what I'm going to continue to do is I'm just going to keep going down. I'm going down. Singing, not my thing. I'm just going to keep taking that down. I'm actually going to take some more of that concealer. So as you can see, it is getting slightly smaller and more kind of normal looking. This kind of eyebrow that a normal person would have. Just going to take that. Ooh, it is so satisfying. It really is so satisfying. Oh, people just walk past. I wonder what the neighbours think of me. I'm always doing something by the window. Right, I decided I'm not going to take that any further in, because now we are starting to touch on the black gel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some more of that and I'm going to start shaping the underneath part. Okay. What I'm going to do... Hold on. I'm going to... I actually cannot see. The problem is because I can't see myself in the camera because my eyesight is so bad. I do not want to make a horrible mistake. So I'm just taking that up and round. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing I did at the top. I'm going to keep sweeping my brush across, but I'm going to take it up, further up every time. Here we go, now I see somewhat of a normal eyebrow. And if you look at that eyebrow compared to that eyebrow, it's completely cut down. Already, you can already see it taking shape, and this is just why I love using a concealer that's so much lighter than my skin, because it really, really hides the hair. And sometimes you will get odd hairs covered in the concealer, but you will not see that. You really won't. This really is an amazing method I found for doing eyebrows, especially if you're bushy, or you do drag and have male eyebrows and can't, you know, and you can't conceal it with the glue stick and the powder, because my eyebrows just will not conceal. You know, like, I'm trying to think of an example of that. You know, and I'm just gonna actually start popping some of that concealer just on my eye as well, just to kind of, I don't really know why I do this at this stage. It's just to kind of make everything the same so I can actually see what I'm doing. I have an example. You know when Shane Dawson did that series, or no, he was Trisha Paytas for a day, and he dressed up like Trisha, and he had the concealer, the powder, or the glue stick on top of his eyebrows, and to kind of make them look more like hers. But it just made his look white, like it really didn't do anything because they were just so big. That's what mine tend to look like. Last year on TikTok, I did the Jeffree Star challenge. Somewhat, you could say I did the Jeffree Star challenge somewhat. And because Jeffree has like very little to no eyebrows at all. See, now I'm just going up into my eyebrow hair like that, but I do want it quite thin for this look because I am doing a somewhat of a drag lip transformation. Where's my beauty blender? Here it is. I'm just taking my damp beauty blender. So yeah, I did the Jeffree Star challenge, or attempted to do the Jeffree Star challenge, and my big problem was that my eyebrows, I just could not cover them with the powder and the concealer method. I think that's just because they're quite dark and so prominent on my face. So yeah, safe to say that flopped. So what I'm doing now is I'm just blending that concealer out underneath. It's actually dried because I spent quite a lot of time just talking and shaping. When I'm not doing this with the camera, usually I kind of get in there before it does dry, because the Maybelline Eye Eraser is really good. It's really quick drying. Like, it doesn't sit wet or oily on your skin for too long, which is fantastic. But when you get chatting, it's not always the best. I'm just gonna pop some more onto this eye, like so. Oops, I'm damaging the table. And now, here we go. Here we go again. Now you're telling me that she is just a friend, but she's calling you at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, singing is not my talent. It really, really isn't. I'm kind of hoping makeup is, but I'm not sure. So can you see the difference between this eyebrow and this one? It's like way different. It looks like they look like two completely different eyebrows. And that is the magic of this concealer. I blooming love it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do the same thing again. I'm gonna start at the top. This is quite wet actually. So I'm just gonna start a little bit higher just in case. And I'm just going to go, making a line down and round. So I'm just going to make a line down and round. Oh, look at that. Ooh, that is so satisfying. And I'm just going to keep taking it now. So now I'm going to stroke that down again, taking it further into my eyebrow. Do that again so you can see somewhat. And now again. And again. Ooh, that was a big one. That one went down in quite far. That's okay, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to take that again. Ooh, that was risky. That was a risk. Right, we may have taken it in a little bit too far. I'll take that in again. And now I'm going to go up again. I'm just going to take that up. And round again. As you can see, that's already a completely different shape. Keep going up. Ooh, this is like the most satisfying part of my makeup. That and finishing it. And now I'm actually going to start at the top this time, as I would usually, as I would off camera. Now I'm just going to blend that out and down. Can you see me blending? I don't know. We shall see. I'm going to blend that out and down. Okay, I've actually done what I said not to do. Oh no, hold on. Okay, hold on. Do I have a crisis? We shall see. I may have blended too much of it into the brow. But I really wanted thin eyebrows. You guys, for a drag look, you know, I mean, drag queens have like razor thin eyebrows to just kind of lines. And that's the one thing I really need to learn. Do you see that? Do you see that difference from when I started? How much thinner my eyebrows are? I literally look like Joey. I look like Joey when he got his eyebrows waxed. Oh my goodness. That is the magic of doing it this way. So now I'm literally just going to put my concealer into the centre as well to just continue to conceal that. And I'm also going to place my concealer round onto my forehead. Because what I like to do is I like my eyebrows to have a small white ring of concealer around all of them as just a highlight. I feel like it just really kind of adds a vibrancy to my eye makeup. So I kind of blend this slightly up, and I also like it round this concealer around my eyeshadow too, to again add that same vibrancy. Excuse the people in the background, they are just my neighbours. So now I'm just neatening that concealer around the eyebrows as much as possible. I'm just going to look at myself. So they are, it's a bit thin. They're not super perfect. Sometimes they are perfect, but they are much, much smaller and thinner. And you didn't see me pluck one hair out of them. So that's kind of the goal here. It's kind of like, you know, if you can't do your own eyebrows and you can't get to the salon because we're in a global pandemic, conceal them. I remember when I started makeup 5 years ago, my friend said, oh, you can just conceal your eyebrow hairs. And I was always like, wait, how? How can I conceal my eyebrow hairs? You know, she was like, oh, but you can just use concealer. And I was like, I literally didn't get it, so I never, ouch. So I never concealed my eyebrows. I only started concealing my eyebrows literally probably a couple of years ago, because this whole makeup thing has been a real journey for me. I'm that kind of person. Like, I am the kind of person that does things the way I do them. So if I don't do eyeshadow, for example, that's another example. So I used to not do eyeshadow, I used to not do lip gloss, I used to just do foundation, I used to just do a face of contour and a bit of mascara and my eyebrows, and that was it. And then my friend got me on to doing eyeshadow. She said that I should do eyeshadow. She said, you know, oh, you should really do it. And she gave me a couple of palettes to try it out. And she said, get some brushes and do it. And I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do eyeshadow. And I was really adamant about like really not wanting to do that. So I'm just wiping away the excess. So I want to keep a little bit of this. And you will see why later. That sounded so weird. You will see why later. Yeah, I was like, you know what? I don't want to do eyeshadow. I don't know why. I'm just stubborn. You know, I'm kind of like that. You know, I always think that my way is the best way, and it really isn't necessarily the best. So I've just kind of got that small. Okay, now I'm literally just crashing into things. Let me move. So now I have that small kind of dome of concealer, which will be blended, which will end up being blended out, but I do like to keep it. So now that my eyebrows are somewhat done, you know what, they look presentable. They're not super bushy. We don't have angry birds. I know they're not quite perfect. I may actually just go in again. My eyebrows do take me a long time. They can take me up to 45 minutes sometimes on a bad day. But they are important. This is why I go to the salon every 2 weeks and get them done. Because I know it costs money, but you know, it's worth the time. It's worth it for the time. You know, that's the thing that money gives you. It gives you time. So to spend that little bit of money to just do that, and the same with my hair as well. It gives me time for other stuff. Okay, that is a bit better. That's more. They're more symmetrical now. I know they're still not quite perfect, but that's okay because they will end up being hidden with the eyeshadow when I apply that anyway. Now I'm going to be taking the James Charles Morphe palette, and I'm going to be doing a dark purple and pink neon eyeshadow look. I'm just going to be taking the darkest purple shade in the palette, so this one. I threw away the things with all the names, so I don't actually know what it's called. But yeah, so I'm going to be taking this one, and I'm going to be taking it on my Primark eyeshadow brush. I'm just going to dust that away. That was quite a lot. I'm just going to pack that into my crease. Let's see if I can do this on camera. Okay. Complicated eyeshadow looks on camera give me so much anxiety. Because I always worry about being able to showcase what I'm actually doing and get the look right. Right, so let's just pack that into my crease. Maybe I should have taken a smaller brush to do this, because this is quite a dark colour. Yeah. Let me switch brushes. I'm going to take my e.l.f. crease brush and just begin to diffuse that. Diffuse that colour. Oh my goodness. I look like a raccoon at the moment because it's so dark. It's like when you use black eyeshadow and just put it on your lid. You look like a raccoon. Okay, right, that isn't looking too good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and just continue to pack that colour on. I do like a very vibrant, a very dark eyeshadow look. And just keep blending out. Sorry for that, I do have other people living in my house. Keep packing that on. I'm actually going to dip into some more of that shade. Oops. Just dip into some more of that. And just keep putting that on. And you can take it to the inner corner. You are going to remove most of it. But I like to just put quite a lot of it on as a kind of guide, because I can't see it. I can't put a little bit on exactly where I need to put it in. I can't put a little bit on exactly where I need to put it on and then put on the rest. I just cannot see it. My brain does not work like that, if that makes any sense. I'm just going to continue. I'm going to continue buffing that up and out. You really don't want to take this too high up to the brow bone, because you are going to place neon pigment like round it, and depending on how much neon you want, you don't want to place too much on, if that makes any sense. So as you can see, I look insane. I actually look even worse on camera, so that's great. So I'm just blending in circular motions. As I diffuse that, they get higher. I think this is about as high as I want to take this colour. I think I may diffuse it a bit more, and as you can see, the dark purple is actually mixing with the very light concealer and it's diffusing into a lighter colour, which is quite nice. Okay, I'm still not talented at looking down yet, so you'll have to bear with me. This is about good. So for somebody with hooded lids, you do not want to take it up too high because there's not a huge amount of space to do the rest. And now I'm literally just going to start packing that on again and doing exactly what I did on this eye. So I'm going to start from the end, and I'm going to pack, oops. I'll start from this end and I'm just going to pack that eyeshadow on. Pack it on, like so. Ooh, I'm looking like Marilyn Manson between the dark eyebrow, the white face, and the dark eye makeup look. I promise you will not look like this when it's done. Trust the process. So now I'm just going to take that. Right. I'm going to start going again with my e.l.f. crease brush and just continue to diffuse that colour. I think actually, I don't know if I put enough on, because I do want this colour to be quite dark. I want it to kind of be the juxtaposition between the kind of pink neon and the very dark purple. I feel that will look really cool. I'm just going to pack some more on. Come on. Now we're going to start diffusing that again, circular motions, somewhat. So this look actually came from a YouTuber on here called Andrea Lopez. She did a neon green look using the James Charles palette, using the darkest shade of green from the James Charles palette, and then a neon cut crease and a neon, what do you call it when it goes around the eye shadow? But that's kind of it. So I'm just taking that look to do this. I did do her neon green James Charles look, and it turned out really well. It was a really amazing look. It was really vibrant, but yet really simple. And I find that that's such an ugly green shade. I really don't like it. Like, it's not a nice colour. It's very kind of army camo green. And I've tried to use it before, insert photo, and it did not go well. But her look was just a really good one. And now I'm using, so what I'm doing essentially is I'm just using that same method, just with two different colours. I'm gonna just pack some more of that on. Packing. Now we're gonna actually start blending a little bit with this shade. And what I do like to do is I do like to take my eyeshadow out to the corner just so I can get the right shape for my eye. And take that up a little bit more. So this eye is actually slightly bigger than the other one, which can make it kind of tricky. This eye is less hooded as well. My right eye is left hooded, is less hooded than my left. Okay, complicated. So I'm just diffusing that in circular motions. So do I need to put some more of that? Yeah. Here I'm just popping on more as needed. I've got more as needed. I'm just gonna diffuse that again. Continue to just diffuse that colour, and this one can go slightly higher. Okay, it's really diffuse that colour. Shit, this one hit a lot. This one is slightly higher than the other one. Let's just pack on a little bit more on the other one just to make it look a bit more symmetrical. I mean, I know it's your eyebrows should be sisters, not twins, but I think your eyeshadow should be twins. I don't know. But when you have two different eye shades, that can be a bit hard to do. Right. Just going to continue to diffuse that colour up. Right, actually I can't take this much higher because of course we're going to add another pigment in a minute. So I just want to make it as smooth as possible before I add the pink. Add neon pink pigment. Round that out slightly. Like, it doesn't have to be kind of perfectly blended and really neat, because you are just gonna, you can, when you come to put the pink neon pigment on, you can take it out, you can put it on and take it further in and then go back on with the purple. You know, you can keep blending it until you get it right. I'm taking my pigment block. So I ordered all of these. Is that gonna, you can't really see it. So it's different neon coloured pigments. Dark green, well, green, purple, pink, blue, neon yellow and orange. And it all comes in a kind of a block from eBay. They come from China and they're really good. So I'm going to take a bit of that pigment. So I've opened it. I might actually apply it with the same brush, with the crease brush. This is what I did last time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip into that neon pink pigment. Ooh, that's quite a lot actually. Ooh, and that is very, very, very vibrant. It's a very, you can't really see it, it's not really sharp. It's super vibrant on here, but it really is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, oops, I need to really get my life together. I'm going to get some tissues. I'm going to get a Kleenex. I'm just going to, because I feel there's just quite a lot of that on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just begin to start sweeping that pigment above where I've put, actually you do need quite a bit of this, above where I've put the purple. Okay, that was quite a lot. Pigment, as you can see, it's quite a lot on, and there is like a lot of fallout, but that is not pigment, that's because of me. So that is quite bright, as you can see. It is kind of changing and becoming a really bright eyeshadow. Do you see how that's kind of eaten away at the darkness already? I should not have put this much on. Oh my goodness, you guys, what was I thinking? So I'm going to take another crease brush. I'm just going to start blending that pigment together. I do just allow my eyeshadows to kind of get quite messy. I'm not really bothered about keeping them neat at the beginning. What I'm also going to do is I'm just going to take a tissue and I'm just going to take, so we've got some of that pigment into the darker purple where we don't really want it. I'm just going to add some more dark purple over the top. That really should just cover that. But that's okay because this part is going to be cut out anyway for the cut crease. So I'm going to just take this crease brush again that I was using to blend the pigment, and I'm just going to blend that into the purple. Diffuse that. About eyeshadow as well, if it doesn't look like it's going on perfectly, don't get despondent, just keep blending. Really, that's like the biggest piece of advice I can give. Literally, don't stop blending, don't take it off, just keep blending. I mean, sometimes I guess it is kind of a lost cause, but just keep blending, like just keep swimming, just keep blending. Now I'm just going in circular motions and taking the pink right up to the eyebrow. And the pink is starting to eat into the purple, a bit too much for my liking, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with the purple and just take that up. It's kind of a battle between the pink and the purple, like it was a battle between the two, between the dark green shade and the neon yellow shade, until you get it perfect, until you get it how you want it. And it's really subjective, there's no perfect way to do it, just do it your own way. I used to hate coloured eyeshadow, I used to be so anti coloured eyeshadow. I used to say, well, I'm brown, you know, there's enough colour in me, I don't need to be colouring my eyes in now too, but I don't know what happened. I just started doing coloured eyeshadow like about 3 months ago. I just fell in love with it. I actually fell in love with it. I just started creating some looks that I really liked for TikTok, and now I would never do a drag look without coloured eyeshadow. I would never do a look without eyeshadow unless I'm just doing a very kind of masculine kind of look. So that's kind of sitting on top of that a little bit, so I'm going to start just buffing that into the purple now, and as you can see it is actually taking the darkness of the purple down, the brightness of the neon pink. And again, looking to the right, because I don't know, I seem to be able to see myself better in the right, so I'm just gonna, oops, I think I just let some of that pigment. I actually quite like that, and the thing about this look is it's so easy. It's actually, it really is effortless. It's a very, very dark colour, and you can actually do this with any combination. A very dark shade from any palette and a neon shade, and you really are cooking with gas. I love the eyeshadow looks that are super easy and super simple to do and don't take a huge amount of effort or thinking time, but that look like, wow, you've really done something here. They're my kind of, you know, the kind of work smart not hard kind of eyeshadow looks. They are a fan favourite here on this channel. So I'm just again, so I really am now just going back and forth with the pink and the purple shade. Pink and purple shade until it's kind of somewhat where I think it looks reasonably neat. Okay, so it doesn't actually have to be and it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be super, super perfect. Like, we are not James Charles on this channel. We are doing eyeshadows because we like the way they look, you know. Okay, so I'm somewhat happy with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. So just take another quite generous amount of the pink neon, and I am just going to start to just go in. Oh, that's quite a lot. Okay, maybe that's a bit too much. That may be a bit too much pink neon, you guys. That's okay. We live and learn. So now I'm just going to take that round, up and round. I'm just going to start buffing that, and don't worry if it looks kind of peculiar when you set it down. I found that most eyeshadow actually does. Like, I used to be the person that kind of gave up when my eyeshadow started looking peculiar, but it kind of, I mean, I guess just by virtue of what it is, it's going to look peculiar on your face until you kind of finish it and move on to the next stage. So I'm just doing circular motions now. Just doing circular motions. It's starting to eat into that purple, which is fine. But I need to just, now I'm just going to darken up the purple shade. Hold on. Just going to kind of purple. There we go. Okay, so my left eye is definitely neater than my right eye. Although this is the actual better eye for cut creases, I found that I don't know what it is. Maybe I just slack because it's the second one I do. But yeah, that's too dark. That's not neon-y enough. And this eye, so I'm going to now go, because it's not neon-y enough in the corner, it's a bit there's still too much of that purple. I think I may have buffed it a bit too soon and didn't let the neon sit down enough. Because we want it to be, we want the neon to be vibrant. That's the whole point, it's a juxtaposition of the very, very, very dark purple pan-dry Marilyn Manson with a very neon Jeffrey James Charles kind of happy-go-lucky High Sisters kind of look. Okay, so I've done that, so now I'm going to then go back in again. Right, purple, brush with purple on it, and we are just going to keep going, and we're just going to keep diffusing. See, that's quite a lot. I'm going to keep going up into that purple shade. This eye, I don't know, I have so much trouble with this eye in particular. I think it's because there's so much more space, I'm kind of got used to it. Like I do the first one, I'm always like, you know what, that's good, and I try and do what I've done on the first one to the second one, and it's like, it's a calamity. Right, let me start doing my circular motions again with this eye. Okay, this is very carnival. Like, this is a very carnival look. I mean, I love it. It's very much my personality. But if you're not like a big fan of colour, or you think, girl, I don't know if I want to draw too much attention, this look may not be for you. It's very kind of, I mean, I think you should go for it, but personally, I just think we should, we should look how we want to look, and we should live that life. But sometimes looks can be a bit loud. And also, there was a time when I didn't like colour either. I thought, you know what, I'm not wearing colour. I really hated colour eyeshadow for some reason. I was so anti, and now I'm kind of doing coloured eyeshadow on the internet. More people walking past. I've just accidentally got my brows. So this bit of the top is really bothering me. So I'm going to start diffusing. It is quite a drag, but we have a lot of pink around this eye. I mean, there is a lot of pink. A lot. I feel like I've used like a quarter of the pot on here, and I'm just like, but it is what it is. Right, so that's still not perfect. This eye really winds me. This eye winds me up. Right, I'm actually going to take my purple up a little bit higher for this eye, because this eye does need to be taken up a little higher because it is bigger. I think that's what looks so wrong. I think there's too much pink, and sometimes you have two eyes on the same face, but you have to do them slightly differently. Like, there is a thing about wanting to get them both symmetrical, but there's also a thing about doing the best for the eye shape that you have on both eyes, on each eye. The idea then is just take that up a little bit further. So we look a hot mess right now. Hey, at least it's a hot mess, not a cold mess. I'm so funny. Comedian. Right. Yeah, you see, this eye always fails me. I think there should be be higher up. Purple on there. Ooh, not too high up now. I do this every time I do my eyes. This one never looks like quite. This one never quite looks like the other one. There is like a lot of blending involved in this look. It's easy in terms of application because you just have to, because it's a 2-colour eyeshadow and a concealer. You don't really have to think, okay, now I need to get the purple and then set the dark blue and then set the medium blue and then the light blue and then the cut crease and then the 3 different colours on the crease. It's easy in those terms, but you still have to kind of blend. And now think about it. Anyway. Right, so see, it's this part that gets too dark for me every time. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with skincare like that. This part here, I often find the dark colour, like I did a purple and black look, pink and black, purple and black look a couple of weeks ago, and the black got smudged right around here. I didn't know why. I didn't know what I had done. I thought I had done the eyes both the same. I don't know what it is. I guess that all just comes with experience, really. Usually sorry about it, you know. Right, I really need to look at myself objectively. Just in the mirror. I like to smile. This is crazy. This tutorial is crazy. I mean, what am I actually doing? See, this is the problem I'm having with this look. I'm having a problem with symmetry right now. Like, it being symmetrical, it just feels off. I don't know what it is. This eye always feels off to me with these bigger makeup looks. I'm not really sure what it is or why it is. It just doesn't feel blended. I remember watching the Andrea Lopez, the original video, and the kind of original creator, and she did say that it is quite hard to blend, it takes a minute, and it does actually take a minute to blend. I'm going to be really honest when I do these and say, you know, this is not something that's blended in 10 seconds. It will take some time. So what I'm just doing now is I'm literally just adding some more purple to it, because I think it may have gotten a bit too pink. The purple may have lost its vibrancy. But yeah, I think it actually may be time to cut the crease because then I can see the actual shape that each eye is going to be more accurately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, again, another clean, flat eyeshadow brush. Got my English there. And again, my Maybelline Eye Eraser Concealer in 00 Ivory. And I'm just going to take that. I don't want to take too much. So this is how I really create the shape of my eye that I want. Okay, so I'm going to start in the inner corner. I'm going to start underneath. I'm going to start, and I'm going to draw the line where I have both purple and pink. Excuse my face please, I'm just going to take it down here, down to there. So I want it where I still have both the purple, where I have both the purple and the pink. And I'm just going to, so as you can see, it's really taken the colour of the eyeshadow, and that's okay because we're actually going to then just remove this whole piece with a wet wipe. Remove the piece with a wet wipe once it's the shape we want. I'm just going to try and make that as neat as possible. Take. And we're going to take a clean simple white. I'm just going to remove that now. Excuse my facial expression. While I'm doing this, it's not a very glamorous one. Okie doke. This is when I start to have trouble. Can you see that? So that's completely gone. That very kind of purple part of the concealer, and it's just kind of left a gap. You can see my skin, my bare skin on my eyelids. Until you kind of get a shape that you want and that somewhat looks somewhat neat. Right, so that's that eye done. So this eye never causes me any problems when I do that. Now for the right eye, my problem eye. So I'm gonna go back into that Maybelline Eye Eraser Concealer. Sorry about that, my phone ran out of space and I had to delete about 800 photos and videos to be able to continue recording. So if I keep having to cut, that's why. So what I'm just doing is and I've also just let all that concealer dry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna continue to just dampen up that concealer right now. Just gonna reapply that concealer because I've literally just been standing in the kitchen trying to delete photographs. So we're just gonna apply that concealer. Bear with me. I'm just gonna beauty blend it in. I didn't really want to do this to beauty blend the concealer, but because it kind of was left to dry, I feel that this is the best way to go. So now I'm going to take another brush. I'll take a brush like this. It's by e.l.f. It's an e.l.f. blending brush, and it actually says on there. And I'm going to go in again to my Neon eyeshadow shades. And I'm just going to take that. I've taken quite a lot of that pigment. And I am just going to apply. I'm just going to apply a really generous amount of that to my eye. Really, really generous amount of that to my eye. There is a lot. I may put too much on. I may put too much on here. There is a lot of that neon pink shade on here. I'm now going to take my purple eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to dip in again to that same James Charles Morphe, and I'm now going to just pop purple on the end of that pink. So it's kind of like, so it will end up looking like a half cut crease, essentially. I think that's kind of what this look is. People who know what they're doing would call it a half cut crease. I'm not sure. So I'm going to just, I put quite a lot of that pink on. I think I put probably a little too much pink on. I'm actually now going to pop some more pink on into the, you can't really see that on camera because it's kind of, it's very, very vibrant. Just going to blend. I'm going to take my cleanest crease brush and just blend those two colours together. I'm just going to blend. I'm just going to blend the two of them together. Okay, and now add some more of that purple shade. Okay, so I do have hooded lids, as I think think I have mentioned before, and that can sometimes mean that like looks like half cut creases and stuff don't always look the absolute best on me. I think the mistake I made though with this eye, I applied way too much of that pink at the beginning. That was too much. That was too much. So now I'm just neatening that up as best as possible. Just gonna start placing that concealer in the bare skin of the crease of my eye, like so. Just kind of smooth that in. I don't like to start with too much because you can build it up if you decide that you need more, but if you do make it slightly too liquidy in the crease, oh my goodness, but we've gone off. If you do make it slightly too liquidy in the crease, it can be hard to manoeuvre it. We've gone a little bit out side of the line. Oops. So now I'm going to take my beauty blender again and I'm just going to blend that in just to smooth it out. Okay, we are going to just smooth that out. And now I'm just going to pack that colour on again. Probably not as much as I used on my left eye because that was a lot. That was a hell of a lot of pigment I put on there. I didn't need to use all of that. I swear to God, I've used at least a quarter of this neon pink pigment. I'm just doing this look for today. Put that on. Actually, I will take more of that. Let's look at that. I used to do a lot of cut creases, but I never put the kind of darker pigment here at the end, so I just always do them like this and kind of leave them unfinished. But if you like look at the kind of difference and how much nicer and like better done this looks. But you live and learn. So I'm just really putting that on. Actually, I'm going to put a bit more on because I put so much on. I am now going to pack this purple shade on again. So I went back into my James Charles palette and I'm just going to start on the outer corner and I'm just going to pack that purple shade on until I get it somewhat, actually I should do it this way, shouldn't I? Until I get it somewhat similar shade as the other colour, as the other eye even, not the other colour, the other eye. So I'm just going to continue, let's pack that on. This side is like lighter somehow, and I'm not really sure why or how. Blend the kind of purple into the pink so it looks more 3D and less kind of just boom, like big kind of chunks of colour. So it's kind of more like natural, not so like, oh. I feel like this look would be really good for like a rave, some kind of rave. I'm trying to think of a rave. I don't get out much, you know. When there's a chance to go out, I would sooner stay in. That is just me. I like to be in. I like to be in pajamas by a certain time. I like to be in the warm. I like to feel safe, you know. All sorts goes on after 11 PM, right? I mean, not all the time. That sounded so like sinister. I didn't mean it to come across like that. But yeah, clubbing isn't really my thing. But if you are a kind of disco gal, if you like clubbing or going out, or a disco guy, of course, if you like kind of going out and that kind of life, I feel like this look could really be quite good for you because it's super vibrant. And I think these pigments glow in the dark. I don't know. I think on eBay they were advertised as glowing in the dark, so we're gonna have to try that later and see if I will glow in the dark. That would be cool. I should add that to my list of skills, being able to glow in the dark. My next job application or my next dating profile. So what can you do? Well, I can glow in the dark. You know, how many people can say they glow in the dark, right? Come on. It's about being one of a kind. Hunty. That was actually a very aggressive hunty, and it wasn't supposed to sound kind of sarcastic, but yes, it's all about being like one of a kind. Can we glow in the dark? Yes, we can. So I'm just popping some of that neon pink underneath. Funny story, I don't love, well, it's not actually a funny story, it's just, this is just a great way to segue. I don't love putting eyeshadow underneath the eye because my eyes are not that, I feel like if my eyes were that big round shape, it would work. We have spirit joining us. No, I feel that if my eyes were that big round shape, it would be fine. But because my eyes are quite, they're almond eyes, I have quite almond shaped eyes, but it doesn't always look right to when I have my shadow underneath. But you know what? I thought, you know, I think for this look I'm going to go all the way out. Okay, so I am back with my clean beauty blender and I'm just spraying my Barry M matte fixing spray into my foundation palette. So for foundation I use a mix of, where is it? I use a mix of, for foundation I use a mix of Milani Intense Golden Tan, and I use the LA Girl Pro Foundation Lightener to lighten this. I really like this foundation. It's really good, it has concealer in it, and it's really good for my kind of shaving rash and bad skin. I find it covers it quite nicely. So I kind of just mix these two together in this really, is that gonna focus? I can't see it. Yeah, in this really disgusting old NYX makeup palette. I'm literally just applying quite a generous thick layer of foundation to my face and under my chin to get all of my shaving rash. I'm just gonna paint it on like I am a blank canvas. Well, not so blank with all the dots, but you get the gist. Right, so I'm just gonna blend that in. Careful not to mess up my eyeshadow. I do tend to blend quite fast, and I'm not the most gentle blender. You know, let's get it in, let's get it blended in, let's get it on the skin, Let's get me smoothed out. Let's get me ready to rumble. I'm just gonna blend that. Blend it, blend the nose. Blend the nose. Okay. Wow, that's so much better. Somewhat. Okay. I'm really glad I decided to turn my ring light down. Usually I do use my ring light on full blast, because I just find that it makes me look so much smoother. But maybe I just don't need as much when I'm applying everything. So it does have a tendency to make me look very kind of beigey, kind of quite strange colour. And so as you can see, I don't know if you can actually see that if it's showing up on camera, but I do keep a little bit of white around my eyebrows, just to kind of define them. I am going to just be applying some more foundation. Some more foundation to my forehead, because I like a really smooth forehead. And don't be afraid to really get stuck in and blend, blend, blend. Seriously, gorgeous girlies. The smoother my face looks, the more I blend. And I have quite bumpy skin. So I'm now going to take a clean, simple makeup wipe. And I'm just going to wipe the underneath parts of my eyes, ready to put the concealer. But I'm being very careful. I'm wiping a little bit lower than what I would usually, just because I have the eyeshadow underneath my eyes. Just going to wipe that, right? And now I'm going to take another Maybelline Eye Eraser concealer, this time in 02 Nude. So this is the Maybelline Eye Eraser actually in my shade. Oh, did you see that? The eyeshadow, when I turn the brightness down, it is slightly glowy. So it may glow in the dark, which would be really fun to try out. I hope it does glow in the dark, because I love stuff like this. I'm just applying that concealer. And I'm applying my concealer all over my face. I know the new thing is to just put it under your eyes, just right, like under your eyes, and not apply it everywhere. The reason I apply it everywhere is because my skin isn't great, as you can tell, and coverage for me is the most important thing. Like, I care more about being covered than I do about anything else. I would much rather be covered and maybe slightly less contoured looking than less covered. I feel like that kind of stuff, when people don't put as much on, I feel like a lot of that stuff is really good. It's really good if you have really nice skin. If you have smooth skin underneath, it's fine. But I can't really get away with not putting enough on. I mean, there's no point in me putting makeup on for me to just show off my blemishes. There's no point. So now I'm going to just start blending out my concealer, and again I'm going to be really, really careful not to take it too high up to where the eyeshadow is. I'm not actually for sure. I may put a little bit more concealer on. I don't really have a huge amount on right now. I am going to put a little bit more on. I can see that it's a bit lower down because my eyeshadow is coming lower down. That's okay. I have to get used to that. I'm going to just blend out my forehead. doke. I'm just gonna blend a little bit to my nose. I'm now gonna just contour my face with my Technique foundation sticks. I love these and they blend really seamlessly together. I really do put quite a lot of contour on. And on the other side. I'm just going to contour my jaw as well. This can sometimes make me look like I have a beard, but I have a solution for that. There we go. Now I'm going to take my Real Techniques Beauty Blender and I'm just going to blend that all in. As you can see, it's kind of making a slight beard. So what I do is I cut my jaw with my Maybelline Eye Eraser Concealer in 02 Nude. So I cut it with the concealer that's actually in my shade, not with the lighter one. I'm now going to take my e.l.f. blending brush and just blend out my face a second time. Blending is super important to me. I wear such drastically different colours on my face, and if not blended correctly I can look really patchy, and I really don't want to look patchy. I don't wear makeup to look patchy. So I'm just blending out the jaw, contour. Now I'm just going to take my contour stick again and I'm just going to contour down the bridge of my nose. I like to leave my nose till the last minute because I find that this contour can dry. Oops, keep that a bit higher. I find that this contour can dry. I save my nose for last because I like to because I don't want to leave the contour on for too long because it tends to dry and then I can't actually blend it. So if I apply it when I apply my face contour and then do my face and leave my nose, it can sometimes leave two harsh lines down the bridge of my nose, and we do not want that. I also use a brush, not a sponge, to contour my nose. And I really recommend not using a sponge. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to, off camera, do my mascara and lashes. I don't really have any tips or techniques on how to do mascara or how to do eyelashes. I use Allure magnetic eyelashes and I clip, and after I've done my mascara I use Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara because it's the only mascara, I swear to God, it's the only mascara that my eyelashes will stick to. So I use Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and then I get the bottom magnetic lash and I place it underneath. I get the top one, I place it on top, they click together. Bish bash bosh, real good nosh, all done. So that is what I do, so I will be back in a bit. Okay, so I've just finished my mascara and lashes and now I'm just applying my Technique powder bronzer. I'm just going to start by packing that on to all of the areas of my face that I've just contoured. Starting here, so I just really pack that on. I find that this step really helps to define my face and change my facial structure, and that's why I use quite a lot of it. Now I'm just going to apply that to the jawline as well. Like that. And I'm going to take my e.l.f. blending brush and I'm just going to blend that all out. I don't think my eyelash is sitting correctly. I can feel it on my waterline. I hate it when that happens. But that's how it goes, hit and miss. I'm now just going to add contour to my nose. Not contour, bronzer. Sorry, I'm now just going to bronzer both sides of my nose to help define that. Again, I add quite a lot of bronzer to my nose, and now I'm just going to blend that out with my e.l.f. blending brush once more. So my face is now finished. I'm just going to add the finishing touches. So what I like to do is I like to take my Maybelline Eye Eraser Concealer in 00 Ivory, and I just like to add a tiny bit of that to my under eyes, just to really define my face, to kind of really give me that snatched up appearance. Just going to put that very carefully under my eyeshadow. Do you see how it's kind of lifting it? It really does lift it. Now on the other side. Gives me a much more feminine appearance. Fabulous. And I'm going to draw down the centre of my nose and just do the same. And again with my e.l.f. blending brush, just blend that out. You don't really want a strip of white down the centre of your nose, so try and blend this out. So to set my face, I'm going to take my Technique translucent powder and set the highlighted parts, and I'm going to take my W7 selfie powder and set the contour, and I'm going to use the W7 selfie powder to set the entirety of my face. I'm going to take a very old makeup triangle sponge. I actually have a whole new packet of these. I don't know why I don't take a new one out. So I'm going to take these kind of white sponges. I can't really show it on camera. I'm just going to start. I'm not going to take it right up. I'm going to take it right up into the eyeshadow, or too high into my under eyes, because it can sometimes overpowder it and cause it to crease. My jaw, highlight, and my chin. I can just take that up my nose and up to my forehead. Just a bit above my eyebrows to make the white powder that we put, the white concealer that I put around them really stand out. I'm forgetting my language now. I'm going to take my W7 Selfie powder with a Eco Tools powder brush and just brush out. And just powder my contour. Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting my language. And then just powder around the sides of my nose. If you look, as you can see, and I think it is showing up on camera, the definition on my cheeks after I put the ivory concealer just on top, just to really define, give that kind of very draggy kind of look. I'm just going to leave that on, not for too long, because I don't like to be over powdered. Even though I have oily skin, leaving powder on for too long can end up making you just look dry, and you can start to lose parts of your makeup because it can start to crack off. When I started makeup, I used to just powder way too much, and I used to bake my concealer. I used to apply the powder to my beauty blender and then put it in, and my eyes were just so uncomfortable and looked so horrendous, my under eyes, that I had to stop, and it just realised that it just wasn't right for my skin. So now I'm just powdering all of that away. I know, I've got these fake glasses on, and I use them just to protect my eye makeup from my setting spray. I'm again going in with my Barry M matte finish mist and fix setting spray, just spraying that all over my face. For lip gloss, I'm using Too Faced Melted Matte in the colour Child Star. It's a matte lip gloss, and I use Revlon Lustrous lip gloss in Snow Pink over the top of it to turn it from a matte lip into a gloss. I'm now going in with the Revlon Lustrous Gloss in Snow Pink. And this is the finished look. It's like nearly 8 PM now, and I'm finally done. I just thought I'd put my wig on and my outfit on and finish it. I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. It's super neon, it's super bright, and it's actually just what I had in my head. I don't know what else to say. I truly have nothing else to say. Honestly, I'm shattered. I started at 3, so I started about 5 hours ago. I do want to test and see if this eyeshadow is actually glow in the dark, and if it will glow in the dark. So I'm gonna turn all the lights off now, and let's see. Okay, so I am just about to turn off all the lights in the living room, and let's see if this is actually glow in the dark like the ad says. Okay, let's start with the ring lights. Turn that off. Oh my goodness. Right, am I gonna glow, or have I just done the stupidest thing ever? It may need a blue light. Okay. Yeah. Not glowing in the dark. Hold on. I don't know why I thought that would be a good idea. So I just went and turned off all the lights in the living room to see if this look would be glow in the dark. And I realised they mean UV light, like it's UV glow in the dark, not just pitch black and it will glow. So I risked breaking a limb and see if it was glow in the dark. I was really excited at the prospect of this being a kind of glow in the dark eyeshadow. But who knows, maybe in the club, if I ever wear it out to the club, I'll be, you know, glowing, but we shall see. Thank you so much for watching, gorgeous girlies. If you managed to make it to the end of this video, please like, share, subscribe and comment for more.